Hey guys, another day, another tutorial. So where did we leave off? As far as I remember, we have set up the render level, then we have set up the level that is shared between the recording level and rendering level, and of course we have the gameplay layer that is untouched, that is our recording level. So this time I'm planning to show you how to record vehicles and trigger particle effects. I know you guys want to know that a lot. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna load up Narva, the same level where we're working, where we're recording. So mine was skirmish, so I'm gonna load that up. So the level's loaded. I'm just gonna fly to the position that I want to record at. Let's do the same. So around here. First things first, we need to go into editor preferences. Under play squad, we need to make sure, very at the bottom, we need to make sure that can driver switch to third person is on. It should be on by default, but just in case, make sure it's on. Other than that, we're gonna go to the vehicles folder and choose a vehicle, whatever vehicle we want to record. For now, I'm gonna demonstrate a Bradley. It has tracks, it has turret, good example. So how does this work? We're gonna record with the blueprints, aka the blue ones, and we're gonna render with the skeletal meshes, which are the pink purpley ones. So we choose the blueprint, what we want to record. So at this point, Bradley, I'm gonna just drag that out, plonk it here, rotate it. It doesn't matter, but you can just place it however you want. And then here, under World Outliner, I find the same blueprint, and we need to modify a couple of settings. So here in the search, I'm gonna type in claiming, and make sure you can enter without claim, you can drive without claim, and well, I'm just gonna disable claiming in general. After that's done, we have everything set up. We are ready to proceed to record. And just now, I have realized that I do not have the shared level in my level, the recording level, SDK update. So I go back to my content, tutorials, I find the sequence stuff level that I shared, and I'll just drag it in, right click, make sure it's always loaded. It is. Good. When we're sure that all the levels are in here, including our shared one, in the World Outliner, we should see our own previous sequence. So I'm just going to open that. At the moment it's empty. I did a little bit of a cleanup. Apologies. First of all, I'm going to disable the modes window up here. I want a bigger window to see what I'm doing. If I want it back, I can always go to Window, Editor Modes, and Modes panel. It comes back. So I'm going to remove that, and then we proceed to sequence recorder settings, typical stuff, sequence name, my Bradley, where it's going to be recorded. It's going to be going into tutorials and animations. Well, actually, yeah, okay, animations. Then I will still leave create level sequence on to prevent some weird mess up or crashing. And after all of this is set up, we are good to play in editor. Okay, so we have spawned in as a typical engineer, this time USMC, why not? There is a slight problem. If you try to enter the vehicle, it will say can't enter seat without the crewman role. So I totally forgot where the option to disable this is, but we can do it with the console command anyways. So let's just open console and type in admin disable vehicle kit requirement, apologies, space 1 enter. So now we can enter. So what we do, we just jump in the vehicle. Once we're in, we press O on the keyboard to go to the third person. We zoom out, and now Shift F1 to release the mouse. We find here engineer, our own soldier, and we can already see that he is sitting inside the Bradley, so his parent is the Bradley. So I'm going to drag that out as well. And now I just press record, toggle back, do my motion, ignore the floating, the floating stuff. That's not going to be seen in the ending. But yeah, just stop, whatever. That's good enough. Shift F1, stop recording. Recording has been saved. Stop the simulation. After the recording was completed, I'm just gonna clean everything here, press remove all, so nothing breaks, and according to this, under animations, everything should have been saved. So under content browser, tutorial, animations, I can already see that there's the sequence with the transform data and also the animations, both of the driver and the Bradley. Of course, in the Bradley, you can't really see the driver, but if you were in a Humvee, Matvee, or any Jeep, this animation would be useful to you. So once again, I'm going to just select the first animation of the Bradley, first animation of the soldier, copy those, paste them in my main working folder, and I'm just going to call them properly. The tutorial tut Bradley anim. Save that. And tut Bradley driver dude. Save that. Everything is saved. So I'm gonna open the Narva master sequence, the sequence we were working on. Once again, I will reopen the modes window under here, drag an empty actor into the scene. Yes, it will be placed out of bounds. That is exactly what I want. I want this actor to be in sequence stuff level, not anywhere else, in sequence stuff. So we can transfer it between recording level and rendering level. This is here. Drag it in, call it Bradley, whatever. Then we will find the transform data. So under animations, in here, characters, actually under miscellaneous. And in the very bottom of miscellaneous, there's the transform data we need. So we copy that, go back to Bradley, and paste that data. So now, yep, that is exactly what we drew in. So, you know the basics. Now just the simple thing as every single time, we just find the specific mesh, skeletal mesh. So under meshes, I'm going to take the Bradley mesh, drag it out, parent it to the actor, reset the position and everything. Also, I will clean up, so I'm going to remove the blueprint so it doesn't bug out or cause troubles. If I want to record something else, I can drag another one at any point. So I'm going to remove that. And now, in the sequence, we can see that we're already halfway there. Whoops. The camera speed, wow. Anyways, but we can see a little problem. There's no animation. We just drag this in, and the animation, make sure it's on frame 0. The animation was tut Bradley anim. So I apply that, and now, well, almost there. Well, technically that's how it recorded, so I believe that's how it is in game. If it's a little bit buggy like this, you might want to offset it a bit, but I think that's a little bit too much for now. Anyways, congratulations, that's a vehicle. And at this point, you might be shouting at your screen, but there's no turret! Nah, there's no turret. The way I record, I never record turret or any other seats apart from the driver and the base vehicle. So to add a turret, we will do that in the rendering level, not in the recording level. Recording level is used only to grab the data that is not easy to animate. So what we're going to do now is make sure everything is saved. Save all. There's a lot of stuff to save, so let's do that. And when everything gets saved, if we did everything correctly, if I go back to my rendering level, the Bradley should be there. So if I go back to my rendering level, as I just said, the Bradley is right there, but the sequence is not loaded. That's why it's not animating. So just loading the sequence back up, and look at that, it transferred perfectly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach the turret, attach the gun to the turret, and as promised, we're probably going to strike an artillery somewhere behind there, just as an example. So this will require a tiny bit of assembly, so I'm going to go back to vehicles, back to Bradley, back to meshes, and we definitely need a turret, so I'll drag that out, and we need a gun, I'll drag that out. You can attach, other vehicles have like commander scopes. Well, actually I'm going to show you how to add decoration as well. So decoration as well. Okay, I did a small mistake. I dragged these 3 items into the rendering level, not the shared level. So to fix that, I'm going to go to levels, I'm going to double click on the shared level, and I'm going to select all of these items, right click, level, move to current level. This way it will transfer everything to the blue level. So now everything's in place. We can assemble our little tank. So I'll grab the turret, I'll drag it onto the Bradley main, let's call it like that, and you can find bone turret. So I'll attach it to bone turret, reset, reset, done, and gun goes onto the turret. So onto the turret, it should be bone gun attach. Every vehicle might have a different name, but you can figure it out. And back, there we go. And for this is a little bit tricky because this is a static object. In order for it to be attachable, it needs to be movable. So I'll just click movable right here and attach it to the main base of the vehicle, to none. Decorations do not need a separate socket, so none. Reset, reset. There we go. And now the sequence has everything. If I would want to animate the gun, I would just animate it by hand. So I would select it, make sure it's in the level sequence, and its transform, I would just animate, oops, sorry, not pitch, Jesus, that doesn't pitch, it's just yours. So yeah, I would just animate yaw by keyframes, like, you know, in the beginning here, and then like, maybe it's looking here, and then, yeah, it does the animation. So that's a vehicle. Okay, so now let's add a particle effect. Let's add an explosion. So you can find particles, obviously, under the folder called particles. Here there's different, all sorts of stuff, from ambient fog to vehicle tire effects and weapon muzzle flashes and so on and so forth. I am just going to search for artillery. So I'm just going to type in RT as in artillery. It shows a lot of textures and a cluster F of everything. So I'm just going to go to filters and select particle system to see only particle systems. So there's all our beautiful artillery explosions. So I'm gonna probably go concrete. So I'm just gonna drag it out. It says that it's out of bounds. It should be. And there you go. That's artillery. Let's see it again. Okay. In order to trigger artillery properly in sequencer, we need to make sure that activate, auto activate is turned off for this particular one. And then we just go into your sequencer. We pull the artillery in. We find the good time of like maybe like, yeah, when he drives up, and then right here, we just add a track, particle toggle track, set the track style to be trigger, and just click a plus. There we go. We have set a keyframe, and the particle will explode only at that time in the sequence. So if I play the sequence, boom. Beautiful. If you have any other suggestions or anything that you want to learn, leave a comment under the video or write me on Discord, and I will see what I can do. Good luck.